Hey, this is Darren from Property Prosperity. I just got off the phone from interviewing, I don't know if you know, but I've just started up a podcast and just went live last week. So I think we've got 4 or 5 episodes happened so far. I think we've only had a couple go live so far, but yeah, get on there and check it out. But yeah, my latest interview was a guy, he was actually a chiropractor, and he has just been investing in property just on the side for himself for the last probably 10 years. I actually met him at a seminar probably about 10 years ago. He lives in Sydney. And yeah, it's been interesting to see his journey and how he's progressed over time, and he's done really well for himself. And he's probably got about 20 or so properties, which is really good, and they're all cash flow positive, so they're putting money in his pocket, which is awesome too, and building lots of equity and setting himself up for retirement. So I thought I'd just share with you something I found quite interesting. I obviously trying to work out how he actually became so successful. And one of the things I ask people is, what's the number one piece of advice you could give people if they're looking at, trying to get to where they've got to and trying to achieve their sort of success. So interestingly enough, his number one piece of advice was to get a mentor, which, quite often people, you'd assume there's some other secret or tip that you should be looking at. But yeah, I suppose his advice was to not try and reinvent the wheel, not try and start from scratch, just model what someone else has done. And if you've seen they've been successful, then you should be successful too, And when he first started out, he had managed to find a mentor, they basically had about 100 properties or so. So he's like, well, if they've managed to work it out, then I should be able to do exactly the same thing, and I should be able to work it out too. He did say it was a bit of a struggle at the start, and so when he started out, it was quite difficult to, he tried and it didn't seem to work. But he knew that because his mentor had made it work, then he's like, well, if it's worked for him, it's got to work for me too. So he just persevered and stuck with it. And then once he got his first deal, then he led on to his next deal, which led on to his next deal. Thanks for the like. And yeah, so I thought I'd just have a bit of a chat to you about, mentors and what it all means to get someone that can... The word of mentor, you don't really have to. It doesn't mean you have to have that person in your life as such. I suppose you can read a book and read someone's books and become a bit of an expert on their strategies and their ideas, and you don't necessarily have to have never met them, and yet they could provide a big guidance into how you go forth and achieve your goals. Or it could be you go to seminars, or it could be you listen to podcasts, or it could be Facebook Live, things like today. So it's just about trying to find a path that you think fits in with your ideas and where you want to get to. And I suppose it just makes sense to you, really. At the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense to you and you don't really understand it, then you're going to have quite a lot of difficulty trying to achieve what you want to achieve. So everyone's strategy is probably going to work. If you model yourself on someone successful, then it might work, but it might not work for you, because if it doesn't make sense to you, they're probably less likely to follow it through and get to the point where you actually really achieve in it. So yeah, just go out there and have a look at a lot of different people and a lot of different strategies. Try to absorb yourself on the logic behind what they do and see if it makes sense to you. If it makes sense to you, then you pursue it further. Read more of their books, or listen to more of their podcasts or webinars or seminars, or even reach out to them, give them a call. Just say, hey, I like what you do. I'm really interested in finding out more about it. And they, like the guy I interviewed, he might not actually be someone that's a consultant and such that's going to actually go and, sell you a product or sell you a book or sell you anything in particular. But it's amazing how often people just want to get out there and help other people. If they've done it themselves, they want other people to achieve the sort of success they've had too. So yeah, hopefully you found this interesting. If it has found it interesting, click on the like button. If you haven't, then click on the like button anyway, because I'd really appreciate it. And if you've got a friend or yourself out there that's, you think they might, they're struggling a little bit and they're not really sure how to get started, then they click on the share button, and hopefully they'll then know, okay, well, I've got to go and get some advice or get myself a mentor that try and point me in the right direction. If you've got something else you'd like me to talk about in future episode, then click on the comment box and put some comments in there. And if you want to give me some feedback, I really appreciate feedback, because it helps me learn, it helps me improve. So yeah, put some comments in the bottom there. I really appreciate your feedback as well. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again next time. Thanks.